Now, the timing of that conference comes as the war with Iran raises concerns of more cyber attacks coming for the U.S. from Iran. Now, those fears came true for one company, the target of a massive attack from Iran-linked hacking group. The Stryker Corporation says the breach affected devices in 79 countries and labeled it a wake-up call for every organization. So I'm joined now by Vik Desai, the global security strategy lead at Accenture. Vik, thank you so much for being with us. Okay, let's talk about the risks posed by Iran. Are we seeing more attacks from Iran after this war began and its proxy groups?
So it's a great question. So look, the cyber threat landscape itself hasn't really changed.
Oh, interesting.
What's really changed, though, is that, in this fog of war, you're seeing like the floodgates open of other bad actors who are also taking advantage of this opportunity. Mm-hmm. So what's different is that since we have so many more attackers acting at the same time, you're having 2 or 3 attacks at once, rather than a company having to fend off once. They've got to go 3 times, and they only have to get it right once.
So how capable is Iran, since its own cyber systems within its country were damaged during the war? Are there other groups affiliated with Iran in different countries that are using those systems?
So cybersecurity and attacking really isn't just a country-specific thing.
Sure.
There are just affiliates across the world that bang together. They are aligned with different morals and different objectives. And just because we've taken out the physical assets of one particular player, it doesn't mean that the threat has gone away.
So you're very aware U.S. companies, hospital networks, and cities are under constant threat. That's part of your job to monitor that. A California city just declared a state of emergency after a ransomware attack sidelined city services, including 911 operations. What's being done to help defend cities from these types of attacks?
What a great question. So I actually believe that we are in the strongest posture that we've been as a country in many, many years. What's different, though, what we really need to focus on is private companies coming together to share information, to work together in a coordinated manner so that they all see the same information coming at them at the same time. Same goes for schools and systems, because all that information should be shared.
So all of us rely on tech in our lives. We all have a tablet or a phone, and so much of our financial information is on it, our medical information, our whole lives are on these devices. What can individuals do right now to help protect themselves from, maybe they're not being targeted by Iran, but they may be swept up in some of these attacks?
Sure, collateral damage all the time. Number one thing, passkeys. It's something that's new. It's a new way of looking at 2-factor authentication, where you receive a text or something like that. But a passkey is far more protective for you. Use it, embrace it. It takes a picture of you. It knows it's you. It's harder for AI to fool. Really, really take advantage of that.
We talk a lot about artificial intelligence on this show, and every week it feels like it's getting more and more sophisticated and able to do more things. Is the cybersecurity community able to keep up with AI?
So AI is not growing like every month or quarter, it's growing every day.
Sure.
In terms of capability. And yeah, both sides can take advantage of that. So that's the thing. The lesson is both the bad actors and the defenders are taking advantage of the same technology, and but the bad guys only have to get it right once. So it is more difficult to defend against it, and for that reason you need to have a plan, whether you're a small organization or a larger organization. Have a plan as to what you're going to do when you are attacked, when your information is released onto the web. And by the way, a big difference between active war and perhaps what we see for consumer, phishing. Phishing is where someone takes your data and you can pay to get out of it potentially. But what we're seeing in Iran is the wiping of data. And that's intended to cause mass destruction and mass casualty of information that you can't recover. There's no price that can get back that data once it's gone.
Is there a fear that an attack like that could take on a global scale? I mean, we've seen massive cyber attacks. Is there a concern it could get even bigger?
Well, it can always get bigger.
Sure.
The question is, what do you do about it? And the weakest link for most companies is actually its supply chain. Companies are really, really good at taking a look at within their walls, what types of standards and what types of programs might put in place. But if I'm relying on another business, a small business perhaps, for a critical piece of what it is I deliver, and they don't have the same protection, something like called a Trojan horse could come in and take my entire operation down. So it's not as simple as protecting yourself. You've got to band together with your supply chain and partners and all have the same raised standards.
So when you talk about making a plan for if and when you are a victim of a cyber attack, what's the #1 priority on that plan? If you're trying to design a plan, what in your view, what would it look like?
Yeah, so there's a series of defenses that you need to have up all the time, fine. Now, let's pretend that, of course, it takes place, the inevitable takes place. So how are you going to contact your customers and your clients? How are you going to contact your vendors and suppliers? What is the plan to resurrect your business using alternative systems so that you make sure, especially in critical infrastructure companies, that medicines continue to flow or medical devices, as we've seen. So having a plan that's not just about defense, but how to remain resilient after that attack takes place is what's really key.
Vik, thank you so much for being with us. I learned so much just in this very brief conversation. Great to see you.
Great to see you too.